I am amazed by the internet. It's connected billions of people around the world, put the collected knowledge of centuries at our fingertips. It's made our economies vastly more efficient, accelerated medical advances, opened up new opportunities, allowed people with shared interests to find each other. So the internet and the accompanying information revolution has been transformative, and there's no turning back. But, like all advances in technology, this progress has had unintended consequences. It's sometimes come at a price. And in this case, we see that our new information ecosystem is turbocharging some of humanity's worst impulses. Not all of these effects are intentional or even avoidable. They're simply the consequence of billions of humans suddenly plugged into an instant 24/7 global information stream. For some, such exposure may be eye-opening, perhaps even liberating, but others may experience that exposure as a direct affront to their traditions, their belief systems, their place in society. Of course, this business model has proven to be wildly successful. For more and more of us, search and social media platforms aren't just our window into the internet, they serve as our primary source of news and information. No one tells us that the window is blurred, subject to unseen distortions and subtle manipulations. And over time, we lose our capacity to distinguish between fact, opinion, and wholesale fiction. Now, it's true tech companies and social media platforms are not the only distributors of toxic information. Promise me. I promise you, I spent a lot of time in Washington. In fact, some of the most outrageous content on the web originates from...
All right, but here's the thing. There's something they're after here. Somebody on that hill. And the thing is, whether by hacking into devices and overhearing something, which honestly, if they'd done that, they would have more than what they're trying to hunt for. Somebody on the ground level in the past week or so here has told these motherfuckers that I'm looking for something. Now, I don't think my ass would have been talking to journalists, police, others about it if there was anything funky with it on my end or otherwise. Oh, but somebody's wanting to know the full fucking shit, aren't they? Yeah, they're not going to get that from me.
Understand, it's not necessary for people to believe this information in order to weaken institutions. You just have to flood a country's public square with enough raw sewage. You just have to raise enough questions, spread enough dirt, plant enough conspiracy theorizing that citizens no longer know what to believe. Once they lose trust in their leaders, in mainstream media, in political institutions, in each other, in the possibility of truth, the game's won.
Damn, killer. It's so good.
I'm sure a lot of y'all noticed that a couple of the hard hitters are back out in front of the world. Right? After being all well rested and shit. Whatever, right? Blah, blah. They're gonna try to come and get the job done. Ain't gonna work. I don't know, just too much. All at once, like always, in a way. Yeah, they want their hands on shit. They ain't gonna get it. Team Wells is worried, and others, including the tragic event criminals, for years rewriting their own history and everything else, trying to weasel dick out of all the shit they've done that is very much criminal, felonious, and otherwise, across the world, really, but definitely here in the U.S., and to those in and around Summers' case and so many others for all the years prior, overlapping and continuing. They would like certain people silenced, discredited, blah blah. They, you know, like set them up, fuck with them, do anything they can to get rid of them for their own, you know, bullshit. And for, well, you know, those most likely be responsible for other shit. So, yeah, the hard hitters are back out on the scene, right? Main goddamn terrorizers, etc., little workers, slithering about. Can't say really give a shit. Though, I mean, it's the problem, right? You call them out on it, and they think it means a shit, and they've gotten responses, and then they, you know, mindfuck all y'all into going, oh god, look, they responded, they're triggered, we're modulating real good, you're getting to them, oh, keep on, we'll get answers for hashtag little so-and-so, or whatever, dead woman's in a body bag, two pieces of shit like that. Man, no. It's just that people that are doing this to in and around all these active cases get sick of it. Some of them choose to speak about it. You know, some remain speaking about it, aren't bullied, blackmailed, set up, tormented or terrorized or pushed over cliffs or whatever it is that they do in every open and active investigation. Fuck with people they fuck with, you know. And would like to speak out about them and get them held accountable. So it's just whatever. Same shit, different day. But last I recall, it's all their fucking names. Their crew and group, yeah, this group, y'all keep watching over all the years, keeps being called out for many years prior to Summers, overlapping and still continuing. Harrow, the rest, I mean, Sebastian, Summers, yeah, I mean, all the way back to Watts, I mean, every case, these people are called out in by law enforcement, families, those they falsely target, etc., and told get the fuck out of. And y'all keep watching them. Y'all keep helping them destroy. Y'all, I don't know what the hell's wrong with the world, okay? But it's all on y'all, man. Yeah, it's all on y'all that partake of it. Think it's funsies, want to normalize this, want to view it as entertainment. You want to help criminals from be taken advantage of them. You want to help them do all the things.
Try to contaminate, discredit, and contaminate jury pools and shit like that. Yeah, my eldest.
Excuse me? Let's hear that again.
Too stupid to realize what they're doing. Just helping this group try to contaminate, discredit.
How about you play the portion right for it, man? And yep, you didn't surprise me. This is indeed that piece, whatever that. And yeah, it's what's been done and threatened since the beginning, eh? When Skull, Candace, you all, if you don't go tell Benny and Tiffany everything, and all y'all have ever tried to do is contaminate jury pools in this air, and to target males and others, and it's true, look what you're doing now. Wrongly and falsely, and pump out narratives on, and make me as his mother feel certain ways and be like, look, bitch, we're going dead on your son again, or you're little, or whatever. If you don't XYZ, and killer's gonna play a piece telling you to get the whole fuck off flying rails, just like Skulls, Cadence, Babishon's dates, rinse, repeat, da 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 da, over and over and over again. And so you all can contaminate jury pools and make other people look sus or guilty that are not, in order to contaminate jury pools for whoever is arrested. Make a bubble of reasonable that whatever, because people selected for juries could think one thing or the other based on what y'all pumped out or people y'all made look guilty or sus or suspect or something that aren't in the least. But that will be in the back of their minds, and y'all have always gone after my son in a concerted effort and continue to do so. Look at you now, right? And beg over hanging threats of, once again, just like they want. I mean, it's the same shit over and over again because Candace knows well and the rest want it so, y'all want it so. And nobody from 125 did shit this summer. Period. Period. And there's evidence and proof of that. But you all have come out here doing all this for years. But yeah, I'm super sus, because it's like, shit, what y'all are doing is meant to contaminate and get everybody looking here and there and this there, just like you all want, the whales want, and no matter who's guilty or innocent or anything, that I'm sure will benefit that motherfucker that is guilty, you know, or motherfuckers, or half a motherfucker, or 12 motherfuckers, you know, you're helping whoever's actually responsible for it, try to get by with it, and that ain't cool, man. Why you target and create reasonable doubt in this area, and you know you're doing this, because you've done it in other cases, and you've continued that pattern in all the cases. Sebastian's, Leo's, Holland, Petitos, Rounds, Reeds, Delphi, Harmonies, I mean, Cash, Classic, Sincere, the Idaho 4, you name it, you pick somebody or several or witnesses and you do the same shit, you create a bubble, you're contaminating fucking with, and it's harming shit, right? And it's making those that you're targeting falsely and, you know, feel some type of way about it, which is also the intention, and scares them often enough to get offline, or to not speak up, or to continue to speak out, or to do anything, or get y'all held accountable. I ain't having it, you know, so there's that, but, I just, yeah, but, oh my god, I said it out loud, I said what you all were doing was targeting people falsely, putting them out there as false suspects, as they are contaminating what would be an area, you know, that a jury was selected from, and you were doing it on purpose, and you're aiming towards my kid who did nothing wrong on June 15th, and, it was wrong. Yes, how sus of me. Oh dear. Listen to the piece and, oh god. I'm terrible.
And contaminate jury pools and shit like that against my eldest. Right? If needed. If needed.
I don't think I was speaking for her.
I don't know, I have to go back to the original beef, but there is nothing sus about that. In the least. Y'all have contaminated the shit out of everything in every case you've been in. You are targeting people that are innocent. You are targeting witnesses in every case. You were doing this case after case. And I know I meant what they're trying to imply, and that they want propaganda, whatever, push out. Don't care what they're doing with it. It's been done before. They've done it themselves before. But what they're trying to do is blame one of my children, somebody else, anybody else. And there's been many they've blamed, but mostly on my children. None of whom did shit wrong or to Summer on the 15th, or ever in her whole life, or the boy's life. Not ever did we harm, hurt, bother, anything, any of those children. Not ever. And you all making any of us look types of ways so that whoever's guilty can get by and you contaminate jury pools, etc. You know, it's fucked up. I'm not gonna repeat myself anymore. Y'all play this shit in oblivion too. I don't give a good goddamn. And by the way, I'm just going to repeat for the billionth time that there's proof and evidence and receipts that prove little I and Elvis had nothing to do with. You got me? You feel me? So what you're doing, I've been doing for years, and the blackmail events and all shit, targeting my son, my child, and those, it's only for bad, man. And you're helping whoever is responsible. You're helping screw with law enforcement. You're helping screw with everything for the worst of the worst. And for you all. But you're not doing this for someone. Or any of these that are missing or murdered or whatever.
She really did ship him off, and you know what she said?
I didn't ship him off anywhere. He's a grown adult. You can't go to a military place like, yep, I want to send my kid on. They're an adult, but I need you to get him going. Yeah, you can't do that, man. Nobody did any of that. Eldest shows and signs. Obviously, I was out in a truck, right? Not in the office or wherever, and that you made a thing that day and made it into something terrible and targeted me and my son with. Obviously, I wasn't in there going, you got a son, people, you gotta go, right? And then it was so long after summer vanished. Y'all are some twisted fucks. And here you are again. Here you are again. Doing it again. Same shit again, Tiffany. Making that look sus. But pretending what you now want to put off on just jitting Adrian and and pretending you and Benny weren't part of. Right? Was he asleep on another call, a panel? Come on. Phone call, a planning session. Give us all a break, Tiffany. Benny, y'all did all that. You did all that over and over and over again, and you're doing it again. Doing it again. And there's nothing sus about any of it. And as his mother, I got to tell you, I didn't want him to. I didn't want him to. I thought college was a better idea. So obviously, Mama didn't make it. I mean, damn.
What she said, and I called it out then, and I'll say it again. She said he was safer in the service than he was there, and I was like, what did she just say?
Well, considering by that point you were trying to get all was killed, obviously, and y'all were targeting broadside and this and that, and monster clothing, yeah. Well, it's safer in the military than from tragedy pimps and bullshit bastards and pedophiles and goddamn rapists wanting everybody else to look at everybody else and this and da instead of them, and targeting everybody, especially witnesses, from June 15th. Yeah. So, yeah. True enough. Didn't stop y'all though, did it?
Because, I mean, I don't know. As a mom, I can't imagine saying that my kid would be safer overseas, right? Or fighting wars than, you know. And she very specifically said that her son was safer enlisting and whatever he was doing, then he would be there. And she could spin that in whatever way, but it was very much important to her, and she got him right the hell out of there.
Yeah,
I didn't get him right. He was a grown adult. And I didn't want him to go. But I had to agree with his decision. Obviously. Because it's his decision. And he was a grown adult, and he's making life on his own, and y'all have no right to be doing this, and never have, or to gear towards him, or others, or my little, or any of the other neighbors, or community members, or dead horse, or dead guy, or everybody else, while you pretend that Summer wasn't surrounded by some of the worst goddamn monsters on earth in her own home, who were the last to have eyes on her. Who were clearly on dope of the highest degree, clearly by their own admission, molesters, rapists, tragedy. I mean, like, yeah, had y'all working, all this other shit eventually, that, you know, have those, like, the boogeyman around them for decades, or transients, or the same patterns of behaviors around all their kids that were always taking on this, or the Mercos, or the many family trees of dirtiness and broken. I mean, like, but y'all targeting everybody else just like they are. I don't know, man. It says a lot about all of y'all, including 110.
And shit like that against my eldest. Knowing that she's, at this time, being viewed by many more...
And you would. I mean, like... That's the thing, man. That's what you're doing. You're contaminating him by using my son. Targeting him, whatever. Making him think he's guilty or sus of something like you have all of us. That way it could potentially get people not hung or brought to justice. That way what's in their minds is that my son or one of us did something though we did nothing. Other than witness. On the 15th. That's it.
She is.
And that way, you know, here's the thing, if ever he and Little are put up on a stand to talk about what they witnessed or heard, you all have contaminated jury pools not to listen to or not to hear or believe things said by Little or Eldest, if they're needed. Right? Just like you all and all the monsters want. So you are indeed contaminated jury pools to be biased against anything he says or Little says. Because other people fear that shit. I guess, including you all. And the shit you all have done to all us for all the years.
But also being clipped and these things being distributed and disseminated all over all the different platforms of social media. She also, she's making him look guilty right now. Let's just
not making him look guilty because he's not guilty of anything. You all are doing the shit you always do, and you've done this clip many times to make him look, or us to look, certain ways in order to do all this shit. Like, Lord, my No.
Oh, yep.
She's making him look guilty, contaminating the jury pool herself. Let's just be real about it. I mean, and she does not have, well, at this point in time with this particular situation, she did not have the wherewithal or the self-awareness to see what she was even doing. Where any,
I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't expect y'all to take statements like that, twiddle fuck them up and place your meaning or whatever on them and say whatever, you know, in a piece. I was clearly and most likely talking about you all and your fuck shit, rinse repeat cycles of targeting like it, and what it could potentially do and what it was intended to do, and so that he or little wouldn't be believed, or so that jury pool selected for whoever ran whatever, you know, be contaminated. Yeah, by you all motherfuckers. Doing it on purpose in all cases.
anyone was saying up to this point was,
Whoever guessed y'all do that.
like, this is like a smoking gun, right? She's saying
no, it's not. And I'm telling you, there are reams of data and other things to back us up and to show that nobody on 125 did anything this summer on the 15th. Y'all are the ones making people still look sus.
need be. Well, if there is a need to be, doesn't it also stand?
Yeah, there's a need to be. Him and Little potentially being pulled to talk about, and then what you all done gearing towards him and Eric, etc. for years. Trying to discredit and do all things around it. And y'all tried, right? It's what y'all are doing. And it's where the need be goes in. If he is needed, she's needed. Y'all made sure you've tried to annihilate, discredit, get things all good and geared up to where it's in jury pool's minds that, well, I don't know, Benny Keys or Tiffany or Spall or Kate, they were the group, they made him look son. Maybe they're lying. Oh God, his story's changed, her story's changed. Oh God. No, y'all been doing all that.
Reason that, well, maybe she has a primal knowledge of that. I mean, she has a knowledge of whether it's needed or not. And I mean, when you dig into it, it's a ludicrous statement because it's as.
What the fuck does that even mean? What is primal knowledge? It's just a word that sounds good. It's hard to hit, maybe. No, it's propaganda. It's bullshit. It's con artist stuff. From a dude who doesn't own a goddamn dictionary. But he knows con well.
She knows he would need one at some point, but she's pissed. Pardon my French. She's upset that it could be potentially being contaminated, right? If your son has done nothing, there's no reason.
I'm pissed that y'all are doing this around Summer's case, period. I've been. Just like you did all the other cases you all done together. And you've picked a neighbor, witnesses, all the others to throw shit off on. And law enforcement keeps calling you out for it. And if people stand up, speak out, you make sure to manipulate the words and do this there and da-da-da around, and throw it as more content and bullshit and contaminate more on purpose with that. That's what I'm pissed about. Why are you doing it? Over and over and over again. And if you know what's being done, then why are you participating in it again and doing it again with these and this? With propaganda, lies, bullshit. Then where your own nigger's accountability, hypocrisy as you pump out and pretend you and Benny, Tiffany weren't part of all these cycles of targeting my children and everybody else are, protecting the real true monsters of 110. Why is that? These are monsters. That's why. You want to be seen as one thing. You're all monsters. You want your assholes kept clean and to keep from being hung for what you're doing or caught up with. And you love profiting off of being demons. You found a realm in which you feel safe doing it, and like nothing will ever catch up to you, and you won't be held accountable anymore. You're used to that. One day your day will come. I'm certain of that. I'm as certain of that as I am that they will find someone and also arrest the person or persons. And that's like 100%. No matter how long it takes. So, carry on, TMBK.
Of creating media that can be clipped, which isn't happening at all on the court. But it's continuing to push, I think, a portion of the digital footprint. And the methodology of it is to continue to push down things that were relevant before, right? You just keep pushing.
And what if I told you all that instead of adding to that pile, you could get your two sorry asses online, pick up the real news reports, the real videos, like you did to build your audiences and make them think you're actually doing their work. You could do that again and go through them again with all the narratives, the content driving, the propaganda, and all the bullshit, and go through them with real brains to actually help some way. Maybe even it's just as simple as the right ears and eyes, seeing, hearing those things out in the open again. And somebody turning in whatever piece they hold or whatever, Maybe you could help cut down on the bullshit if you weren't pumping out the bullshits. And the shit distracting from all those things. Nobody clips the shit out of y'all doing it. And if they do, you eventually erase it. Or get it taken down. Or all that, right? That's what I think. But yeah, we're not allowed any room. At all. Or we had to be very precision based with our language. Which means it's harder to speak openly. And even then, you'll still get shit with it. That's what I think. And you'll always do, no matter what. You always do.
And went out one of the windows. But yeah, I just...
And y'all especially do that on times when it's 11, 12-hour lives, 24. After targeting cycles, all that, we're tired, worn out, blah, blah. And that's what y'all expect for us to get more tired, worn down, to where our language or whatever is not as precise, and you all come in like goddamn vultures. Right? It's also a known of you all.
Understand what was going on.
Ziggy, sometimes too, they'll spell the names wrong on court documents. They say it all the time.
Yeah.
Very actually. I feel like he was involved in something shady, and he was working for somebody above him. And he also, I think him and Don were involved.
Let me ask real quick, and then we'll continue on. Ziggy, do you feel like this theory from whenever you had before, I know things are ever changing and developing, even at this late stage, do you feel like this is...
Oh my god, now y'all are like, bro, Ziggy is Ziggy in the chat? And you're putting up her content to start? Holy shit. That wouldn't be a first. And y'all ain't been doing it all for one for all the whole time anyway, have you? No, you never.
So, like, is this still your take on it? Like, this theory, I know you've seen it. Do you feel like this is still your take and theory on it?
And working for somebody above them, and sometime green. I think that Andy got his son involved in the bullshit. And that something went wrong. That it involved with, in my opinion, now people are going to throw your bit, I don't care though. Involved, I believe, their child. Somehow, like either Andy got him involved.
My son ain't never been involved in no fuck shit. And Andy ain't been in and around or running no goddamn rings either. And what the hell's wrong with you, dude? Like, you trying to make it, dude? Like, what, head of the cornbread mob or something? And you go right ahead with that shit. I don't care, but he ain't. And my kids have never been in or involved or associated with any such fucking thing. And I'll tell you, Ellie and Feds know that for facts. So you just go right ahead.
Him drive somewhere, got him involved in some way. Something happened.
Okay, if that were the case, Andy's at work, and he'd have to have Eldest somehow drive something, even though Eldest wasn't even driving at the time. But he'd have to have somebody to communicate with Eldest, wouldn't he? To give those directives? Yeah. But wait, law enforcement holds all the means of communication, all the rings of it. And that ain't the case. So now what, motherfuckers? Now what? See, y'all are stupid, and you put out stupid shit to stupid people. And do you think that if Andy and Eldest are communicating to somebody that would be known, or would be held by Ellie and all that, and that if that were the case, or getting directed or whatever, that people would be arrested? Or see, this is the stupid shit I'm talking about, all of y'all pumping out together at once. Hoping people are not smart enough to think about it real hard.
Fair. So that would go back to what Killer has coined the anomaly in the connecting connections. Like, what reason would he have to be over in a pool at the Wells house, right? Like, what is it, right? This goes back to that anomaly, which is what that anomaly has been termed a targeted connection.
But it never was in a pool. And y'all know it. And you know, even Don's like, hell no. And Cam's like, nope. And you can clearly see the person in that pool is not my child or children. And Fred, who plays with Ziggy, obviously, is the one that put that shit out. Like, because he's seen your all's fuck shit online, putting that picture out, and being like, oh, is this and that and the other, and then you all using that as a way to target. So, I mean, and that you all, even to do all the things in the beginning, you all stole pictures of my minor child and my eldest, and tried to say my eldest was Hunter to begin with. And that's what I was like, I know they don't, right? And that you've always done that. You know, you've done it for years. And you've done it in the hunting and acquisition way that you do something, and you use people's children in and around these cases. And you continue to target them, and to destroy and annihilate. And I'm just, it's gross.
And that isn't just a swimming pool, like, back in the day they had the hard ones. This one has little poles on it. You gotta connect all those and, like, put it together. So it's not like it's just like when you could throw in the yard, throw it up, and it sits there, you can take it down, it has no attachments or anything. You know what I'm talking about, maybe it makes sense. Okay, so this isn't just a swimming pool that is missing, like, a kiddie pool, like your standard kiddie pool. This one had, like, holes that all had to attach in.
Actually, I believe whatever pool that was had pandas or something, right?
Nowhere did we ever see this pool again. I don't think I have. That's scary to me, because it makes my mind go somewhere else, like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Wow. Why is that? Y'all don't even actually know how long it was there when it wasn't. I mean, like, what? Are you implying it's something to do with Summer and whatever happened to her? Well, dear audience, don't think about it too hard, because if something happened to Summer in that pool on the 15th, you'd think water in it would have to be drained, right? And then the pool tossed out like Tiffany's trying to propagate you into thinking. And don't you think a fuck ton of water being poured out on that property would leave the washing gravel in certain ways and evidence of, and a really giant wet spot that couldn't be dried out even in all those hours that law enforcement then would take note of. Don't think about the bullshit too hard, guys, or for too long, or you'll start poking holes in it all. Don't think about it too hard. Property, then that means they would have had to take it somewhere. Wait. And if it wasn't on property, then that means they would have had to take it somewhere and dump it. And I'm sure Ellie would have found that, or somebody would have, and turned it in, whatever. Or if they took it out to dumpsters or in town, then they'd be around video cameras. Plus, there'd be more evidence of them traveling to places to get rid of things like that. There'd also probably be water in and around the vehicle. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And then the timeline there, could that all be possible in that amount of time? I don't know, man. Don't think about it too hard. Tiffany doesn't want you to do it.
Because, then all this shit happens. It becomes big on YouTube and everything. Jody Sue, is pissed because she, it's all alleged. She's pissed off at Andy for getting her son involved in BS. But at the same time, she has to protect her son, you know what I mean? She doesn't want her son to get in any trouble. So that's also why the relationship.
Nah, I'm just trying to protect my son and my child and witnesses around Summer's case from you all. And goddamn monsters of all varieties. That's it. Right. And it's something y'all rinse, whatever, repeat, yeah, sure.
Ziggy hits the nail on the head right here, because when I heard her, I was like, I definitely wasn't there when she was talking about this, but that would probably be a very good reason to leave somebody, or part ways over protecting your child, being pissed at somebody, through your kid under the bus, whatever,
Sure.
I don't know, I don't know the inner workings of all.
What? If he had thrown my kid under the bus, or somebody threw on a bus somewhere, don't think about it too hard, then I think kid would be arrested or something, right? Don't you? And that, we separate part, y'all know this is not true, and there's so many ways to, I mean, like, goddamn, bro. Don't think too hard, guys. Don't think too hard about it. I mean, look at what he did while he's still pretending he didn't. They'll just know right now. Calls and recording shit. Yeah, no problem doing it. Or getting near him, as quick as possible after he realized once you all acquired him and started paying him, he got right near, didn't he? Yup. Sure did. Made sure to start hanging out with family members that he had never in all the decades either and doesn't even like. That was weird. That was an arc I didn't expect. I'm like, okay. Almost like it's a way to keep ties on us, like he always has. Like, when I leave his sorry ass for 30 years, you make sure to stay his ass right around here or others to where I couldn't even, I don't know, it's what abusers do, man. And then he was so scared, he knew the gamer knew to leave everybody, him and Becca got their ass right around family members, keep contact constantly while appearing in court somewhere. I don't know, man. It's not weird. He learned that being around the kids who had him or acquiring them are suddenly starting to give a fuck about him and pretending that to the courts. And like the first one, would benefit him and Becca. And he used the kids. And he also abused through the usage of and charged me about on it to continue to abuse me.
Damn, killer. It's so good.